In a significant development, President Joe Biden's contentious asylum policy was blocked by a federal judge, posing a substantial setback for the administration, which heavily relied on this policy to reduce border crossings. The judge has paused the ruling for 2 weeks, allowing for a potential appeal. This decision against the Biden administration may carry significant consequences for the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border. Since the introduction of the asylum policy, along with other measures, border crossings have seen a drastic reduction. In response to this ruling, a representative from the Justice Department conveyed their disagreement and confirmed their intent to appeal the decision to CNN. The spokesperson from the Justice Department stated, "We maintain confidence in our stance that the bypassing of lawful routes rule is a legal utilization of the extensive power endowed by immigration laws. We disagree with the district court's ruling in the East Bay case today and intend to appeal the decision and to request a stay during the appeal." In the past, Judge John Tiggar of the California Northern District Court had ruled against a similar policy under the Trump administration. During a court hearing, Tiggar seemed doubtful about there being any real difference between Biden's and Trump's policies. However, administration officials forcefully denied this comparison to the Trump-era rules. The Biden administration has implemented a series of steps to control migration and manage the situation at the U.S.-Mexico border. However, they are facing multiple lawsuits from Republican states and advocates, threatening Biden's border strategies. The current ruling originates from a lawsuit filed by the American Civil Liberties Union, ACLU, and other immigrant rights groups. The lawsuit challenged the new asylum rule that primarily prevents migrants who travel through another country from seeking asylum in the U.S. This is a significant departure from decades-long protocols. Both the Biden and Trump-era policies received widespread criticism from Democratic lawmakers and immigrant advocates. One administration official stated that this was not their primary or even secondary preference and emphasized the need for Congress to pass reforms. The ACLU praised the ruling, with Katrina Island, deputy director of the ACLU's Immigrants' Rights Project, stating, "The ruling is a victory." Each day the Biden administration prolongs the fight over its unlawful ban. Many people seeking refuge and safety for their families are instead left in dire circumstances. It is anticipated that the Justice Department will appeal the ruling. If they proceed, the case will move to the Ninth Circuit, which has previously upheld Tiggar's rulings on similar policies under Trump. During last week's hearing, Ares Reuveni from the Justice Department stated that the rule includes exemptions and offers other legal pathways for migrants seeking to enter the U.S. However, Island, representing the plaintiffs, countered that the rule places migrants in danger and that the regulation itself doesn't provide additional pathways. The Biden administration's strategies, including increased deportations and harsher penalties, have been credited with the dramatic reduction in border crossings since the end of a pandemic policy known as Title 42. This policy previously allowed for the swift expulsion of migrants. However, the administration continues to struggle with managing mass human movement in the Western Hemisphere due to the deteriorating conditions in the region caused by the coronavirus pandemic. The increasing number of migrants from Cuba, Venezuela, and Nicaragua has added strain on federal resources. Due to tense diplomatic relations, the U.S. is mainly prevented from deporting migrants from these nationalities back to their home countries. Tiggar's final assessment is that the programs which allow migrants to migrate to the U.S. lawfully are specific to certain nationalities and do not present meaningful options for all asylum seekers. He also stated that the government violated the Administrative Procedures Act in its implementation of the asylum rule. Imposing restrictions on asylum eligibility based on the enlargement of alternative pathways of entry or protection essentially involves taking into account elements that Congress did not foresee influencing such eligibility, wrote Tiggar. Consequently, this rule is deemed to be random and unreasonable.